Thank you.
Our next presenter is Mr. Piers Kuan from the School of General Education and Languages of the Technological and Higher Education Institute of Hong Kong. And his topic is Peer Evaluation for the Future, Goodbye to the Curse of Knowledge. Piers is a lecturer at the I and has been teaching at tertiary institutions for more than 15 years now. His diverse background and experiences help him reflect on current pedagogical approaches and motivate him to try out innovative ways of teaching in regular classrooms as well as on digital platforms at this very moment of pandemic. Piers, please.
Oh, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Leslie, for introducing me. Okay, very nice. So I'd like to start my presentation now. Okay. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint slides?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, very happy to be here as the MC and also the presenter today. Okay, my topic is peer evaluation for the future. Goodbye to the curse of knowledge. So I have come across this term, goodbye. I mean curse of knowledge, maybe sometime before, but it rings my ears. Okay, in the past few weeks or past few months as well. So that's why I try to correlate these two topics, peer evaluation and also the curse of knowledge together and do some sharing here. And also I would like to share something that I have done before by using PADLET. So in my different classes, I try to use these very useful platforms for collecting opinions from students, especially when I did the online teaching. Yes, okay, this is one of the examples. Okay, and students are quite reluctant to speak up, but this PADLET platform encourage them to just tell me what they think about some issues, sometimes about writing, listening, speaking, and also other areas of English as well. Okay, this is one of the examples. This is a reading activity. I gave them a list of articles for them to read, and they try to share their feedback on the article and see what they have learned. So there are different articles about text 6, maybe article 6 as well. And the third example is like this one. And yes, you can see that this is kind of, I give them a sample of business email. They try to give the comments, whether that they like it or they don't like it. They share the feedback. And at that time, I remember we did have a very fruitful sharing with all kinds of feedback, positive and negative feedbacks on the sample. Yes, I think the PADLET platform can be a very useful way to connect students' feedback and opinions on something without asking them to talk or speak out. Yes, okay. In this presentation, I would like to share some experience of my online teaching throughout maybe 1 year or 2 years. And I would like to say that peer evaluation or peer feedback is one of the core issues that we need to address, especially when we are doing something about the online teaching. Okay, let me see the time, okay? And I would like to share this very wonderful experience because I have a lot of reflections, very recent teaching experience, okay? That is, the date is 14th of June. And also we have some candidates, okay? Some students, Jackie, Woody, and Silman, and also me as well. As planned, I should not be one of the candidates doing the job interview because I want to arrange 4 students, but one was absent. So nobody at that time was willing to join. So that's why this is not my plan, but I joined the mock group job interview. I mean, at that time as well. So that is 80 minutes, okay, for the job interview. And I would like to tell you something about the situation, about the flow of discussion as well. So the topic is what might be the long-term implications of COVID-19 for this business and industry sector. So they did not know the question. They were just given the question 30 seconds before the job interview. So of course, me, I did learn this topic well before. Okay, the discussion. Okay, Jackie has shared something about air conditioning, air quality, based on his program about BSc Building Services Engineering. Then okay, I joined the discussion by changing the topic of artificial intelligence. And then the next candidate, Woody, agreed but did not elaborate well about automation. Suman started by disagreeing with Woody and talked about her ideas about material in air. Then I jumped in as well, introduce another topic, drainage and contaminated water in public housing estates in the second half of the discussion and invite others to join. So everyone share their positive, constructive feedback on others for their performance in a group discussion. So I would like to share a video, okay, not like a video with my speech and also the speeches by the students for a few minutes. Okay, please wait. I'll need to change the screen a bit. Okay, I'm playing the MS Teams screen. Okay, that will be about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, let me count the time.
The air quality to the drainage. So I think the second topic can arouse more attention and arouse more feedback from the rest of us. So if you are the person who thinks you want to change the topic, then you are going to have more marks. Okay, for Silman, Woody, and also Jackie, what do you think about yourself? What do you think about me? Okay, in the group discussion. Am I good or am I bad? Or are you good or are you bad?
I think Sir plays a good leading role, and Silman her workplace are so confident and
Yes,
her vocab is good. And
yes, okay.
The other student is, I don't know, he shares some quite practical points
Yes,
of his
good. Yeah,
profession.
yes.
Yeah.
And then Jackie, what's your comments?
Yes, I think my sharing is not very special because I have no time to prepare more the special point and more professional. And I think sure you are the change topic is very important. And I will take a reference in the fifth day.
Okay, sure. Jackie, you have done a good job. Yes. How about Siman? What is your comment on you and on others and even on me? You think I'm not good? Never mind. Tell me. Yes.
No, I think you're good. You're really looking into the key point of the COVID, and I was trying to express more my ideas, but the words are not really coming out fast enough to get organized. But for others, yeah, I really get the ideas. Yeah, we are communicating well.
Okay, yes. So I would like to.
Okay, for the rest of, the feedback section, I just give them some comments, and they did interact very constructively in this kind of feedback section, and also other students who were not in this group mock group interview did share their ideas about how to share the comments for others. So I think the whole interaction was very fruitful. Okay, but after looking into the curse of knowledge about this topic, then I try to have more reflections how to run this section better. I would try to do a little bit more sharing on the slide 21. Okay, so that's why I will delay a bit. Okay, and then try to talk a bit about more about my reflections, how to run this section a bit in a much better way. Okay, let me go back to my PowerPoint slides. Okay, this is something that I want to already share. Okay, so going back to something that about peer evaluation, okay, nowadays and also in the future, okay, so still have time. Okay, in peer evaluation, okay, in other, I mean, theories, in other terms, we have peer review, peer feedback, or peer instruction. I think they are more or less the same. So talking about, we are going to give feedback on each other's work and other groups' work, or you working in a group, other group members' contribution to the projects. Okay, I do emphasize that it can allow students to build confidence in understanding and applying criteria, and or even negotiating their own prior to the evaluation activity. Okay, I always emphasize that these activities are formative instead of summative, and grades are not going to be given as well. In order to reduce the focus on grading and scores, and students will have less pressure when doing this kind of feedback section. Versatility of peer evaluation. So nowadays, peer evaluation activities can be in many forms. Okay, the process now is always digital or sometimes in class. So there will be a lot of digital technologies platforms to facilitate this kind of feedback section. Okay, including wikis, blogs, discussion forums, Moodle workshop, peer mark on Turnitin, peer advice, and PaddlePad as well. So I've tried some of the platforms, and which can be shared a bit later. We can have more time for sharing. Okay, so the main aim of peer evaluation is about letting students judge their own work. Okay, not just by the teachers. Students can learn more from realizing each other's strengths and weaknesses than other being told by the teacher, which can feed forward into judging their own work. I think, okay, it is very crucial for students to have time, to have space to judge their own work, not just to be judged by the teacher. From it's a senior point of view, from a more senior point of view as well. Okay, so there's a term already used for years, but by Professor Eric Messer. He introduces this term again, okay, in his latest research and also study, the curse of knowledge, and also another concept about triple the learning gains. Okay, there are three benefits of peer evaluation. Okay, so let me just share. Okay, it increases the sense of community building and establishing social networks. Okay, when students try hard to do the peer evaluation, they try to make friends as well. Jackie and Sealman and also Woody, they don't know each other too much. Okay, but after this feedback section, they try to communicate a bit more. So I think this time can allow them to know each other a bit more and try to build the relationships as well. Okay, it emphasized, second, okay, it emphasized the idea that academic work is delivered to a real audience, stimulating the process of research environments and the workplace. And last of all, I would like to say that, okay, it can save teachers time in giving feedback in formative situations. Okay, it can facilitate a shift towards more formative assessment. Okay, but I would like to emphasize, okay, this is the benefits, but we should not emphasize this point. We try not to take this as a major factor for carrying out peer evaluation, because we need to focus on building helping students build a relationship and get the most benefits from those, from the peer feedback. Okay. About the curse of knowledge, I know our colleagues here should know something about the curse of knowledge, which is very popular concept. If you have time, you can just Google this Professor Eric Messer peer instruction, and then you can know more about his elaboration. I just try to capture some of the major ideas here. Okay, so Professor Mr. Does share very true story. Actually a real experience. A beginner, Mary, is more likely to convince another beginner, John, than an expert. Okay, like him, like a teacher, because Mary has only recently learned it and knows what are difficulties that John has. Whereas Professor Mr. has learned it such a long time ago. That means, as an expert like us, we sometimes we don't know why students don't know the concept, don't know the skills, don't try to follow us, because we are explaining something that is too easy for us, but at the same time it'd be too difficult for them. So that's why Mary can play the role of a teacher to help us to teach his friends, her friends to finish the task. So that's why this is the main idea of the curse of knowledge. So here you can say that, okay, and also Professor Mercer also introduces the concepts of Stephen Pinker's, okay, a more elaboration of the curse of knowledge. This one, yes, okay, Stephen Pinker, yeah, okay. Yes, if you have a time, okay, you can try to read this book, okay, The Sense of Style. Okay, when we know a lot about a topic, it can be difficult to write about it in a way that makes sense to the lay person. In order to write better about your professional specialty, you need to avoid using jargon and abstractions. Put yourself in the place of the reader and try asking someone from the intended audience to read it. So Stephen Pinker is talking about writing, but I think it is true in all areas of English teaching. So there's listening, speaking, and other areas as well. So that's why. So daily, okay, in daily classrooms. So I teach listening, speaking, reading, writing. So I try to talk to myself that sometimes I try to avoid using a lot of jargon and abstractions in order to next students get the concept easily. Okay, but of course, when they are into that subject, after some time, then I try to introduce more jargon and abstractions for that. Okay, so here, okay, excuse me. Okay, so this is try to, the curse of knowledge is about the inability to put ourselves in the shoes of a less informed reader. So this is a further elaboration about what it is. The curse of knowledge is the single best explanation I know of why good people write bad prose. It simply doesn't occur to writer that her readers don't know what she knows. Okay, last of all, she doesn't bother to explain the jargon or spell the logic or supply the necessary detail. For me, I always say that sometimes I may have some, some problems of this kind. So it is just a good reminder for me to try to put myself in the shoes of the less informed readers like my students. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is Stephen Pinker. Okay, what's the results? Okay, what's the consequence of doing the, feedback? Okay, student feedback, peer feedback. Okay, so this is called this is concept coined by this professor, triple the learning gains. How can we do this kind of tripling the learning gains? Oh, sorry. Okay, I try to do a bit of reflection and also try to follow the concepts of what Professor Messer has already said. Okay, so I have 10 steps for everyone to know about this. Okay, you can share whether they are effective or not. I think it's quite effective. Okay, ask students to come to class prepared, having read the book or watch a video relevant to teaching is like more or less the flipping classroom that which is shared by other colleagues today several times. Okay, teach by questioning class, raise the questions, give students time to think about it for a few minutes, commit to an answer, try to convince each other of their answer, have them vote for the correct answer, wrap the cycle with an explanation, repeat the cycle until the class time is up, involve students actively in the learning process as a whole. So we can see that, okay, the role of students and the role of teachers are changing, okay, so that we can try to triple the learning gains. So not just about the student-centered approach, okay, it's talking about changing the active role to, shifting the active role to the learner themselves. So they try to guide in the whole learning process. Okay, something to bear in mind when we do, before the peer evaluation, okay, it is crucial, okay, that students don't see peer marking as primary means of reducing teacher workload, and that aforementioned benefits are selected to them. Okay, remember, okay, we need to practice with understanding and applying criteria, ways of giving constructive feedback. So I have I've encountered some cases that students did not give constructive feedback. Okay, this is true. So I try to divert them to a positive way of thinking. So I guide them, okay, can you appreciate something about what your group members said, what your group members did before, and then you try to share some constructive comments. If they have this kind of mentality, it can help them to do better in peer evaluation. Okay, we should know that it's vital that feedback is reciprocal and a constructive feedback culture should be facilitated. So it takes time. Okay, for me, okay, Rome is not built one day. So that's why it takes maybe the whole module for them to learn how to do the peer evaluation effectively and efficiently. Okay, there will be a lot of examples of research in peer evaluation. I just give you some examples. There are so many. So from number 1 to and also others as well. So I skip a bit about this, but I jump to the major part about what reflection I have done after doing the feedback section, including me, okay, on the 14th of June, okay. So I would like to say that, okay, for the future, I think this kind of feedback section should be for students themselves. So I have some reflection here, see whether this will help me and help you when you do the peer evaluation, peer feedback in the future. Okay, ask students to get prepared for the peer feedback section by reviewing the teaching contents related videos. So for the past experience, so I did ask them to watch some videos about how to give feedback for a group interview section, and they know how to do it. But I have not checked whether they have done it or not. Okay, I think if it is that we can introduce the concept of flipping classroom in a much better way, they will be more equipped to do the feedback section. Okay, assign some students to form groups and do their demonstration in class. Okay, and okay, this one, number 3 is the best thing I would like to share. I would like to say that when I'm here, students are more secure. They try to have a moderator and then or leader of the discussion. Of course, the whole discussion is more facilitated. But next time, I will try to remind myself that, okay, it seems better to free myself, okay, from the role of getting involved in the discussion, allowing students the full autonomy to discuss among themselves. Okay, we have to engage all students in the activity if possible, but let the most active ones to pioneer in the group discussion as a good demonstration. So can you remember the Mary and the John case? Mary is a more informed reader or learner. So we can find somebody who can place the role of Mary, we will be much more facilitator, okay, in the discussion. Encourage every member of the first group to reflect on their own performance and share the feedback on others' performance in a constructive way. Okay, again, last of all, offer compliments to everyone for his or her preparation and participation, and give general comments to every member as they wrap up. Okay, so I think I try to wrap up my presentation. Okay, so give students the full autonomy of learning. This is a must. Try to facilitate their self-reflection and sharing of comments on others. Provide a positive environment of candid sharing and support among every student. Okay, the most important one, encourage fast learners, Mary, to teach or instruct less informed learners like John in the process of learning. Render general comments for every student if possible, if we have time. But remind to play a facilitator and motivator role instead of leader role. Yes, for me as a teacher, I do remind myself. Make the best of the latest technology to facilitate various modes of learning. So I need to be creative as well. Okay, I need to get my hands dirty as well. Try to sort out or use some new technologies to attract my students, because students need some new ways, new platforms to share their ideas. Okay, this is the reference page. And goodbye and thank you. Okay, let's say goodbye to Chris Knowledge as well. Thanks so much for your time and listening as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Piers. Do we have any questions for Piers?
Sorry.
Thank you so much, Piers, for your presentation. As our team member, you always remind me of how important it is to stay connected with students' emotions and well-being and respect their contribution to the learning process as well. So thank you once again for reminding me of the importance of all of that. Thank you,
Thank you,
Piers.
Solana. Thank you. Thank you for your support as well.